As Hannah said, I'm Camarie. I'm a hypnotherapist and I live in Los Angeles. And right now, I don't do any sessions in person. All of my hypnotherapy sessions are done over Zoom, which surprises a lot of people. But really,
Yeah.
you just have to be able to hear my voice. So it doesn't matter where you are.
Yeah. Yeah.
And you and I did the sessions over Zoom.
Exactly.
It works
Yeah.
really
Yeah.
well.
Yeah, exactly. And like I think I mentioned to you, like your voice is just so calming. Like I said, me, I get so excited. So it's like, but your voice is so calming and I've always loved that. So yeah, so I'm glad. Yeah. So Zoom is good no matter what. I think everything now here nowadays, I think it's all over Zoom. Poor Zoom. Like it's broke
Yeah,
down on me a couple of times. It's probably like on overload right now. Like all the
it
stuff
is.
that's happening
But
online.
it's okay. People are used to it. They
Yeah,
accept
yeah,
it. And it's all right.
yeah. No, exactly. So yes, I want to just kind of go in today, just to kind of talk about how we met, and basically between me and Kamar, we met in one of a women's group. And so I think the first thing that kind of attracted me to you because you did a live. And then you were just casually talking. I think you were just on your couch and you were just talking about hypnotherapy. And then I don't know if you remember, like I reached out to you and I was like, hey, yeah. And I was like, it's me. I was curious about hypnotherapy. And then we did a call. And then from then I was like, okay, I want to be able to do this and I want to be able to really like dive in. So can you tell us a little bit about hypnotherapy and like the lines of it all?
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
yeah.
was so excited when you reached out to me about it because
Yeah,
I'm just happy to. I watch out. I can talk about hypnotherapy for a really long time.
yeah,
Well, I
yeah.
get so excited talking about
Yeah,
it
yeah, yeah, yeah.
because it's such a modality. It's a therapy that's really effective in healing all kinds of issues that people might have, whatever's
Yeah,
happening in our subconscious, which is where 95% of our personality takes place. So pretty much
yeah,
everything happens in the
yeah,
subconscious.
yeah,
And because you're dealing with the issue on a subconscious level, it's a very fast way of healing the issue. So there's a study that I always tell people about. It's one of my favorite statistics that the study was done and they found that in with the group in 10 years of talk therapy, there was a 38% like healing rate on this, whatever the topic was they were working in. And
yeah.
in 6 sessions of hypnotherapy, there was a 93% healing rate. So
Yes.
because you're like getting in there and changing things on a level that is subconscious that you don't even necessarily think about on your everyday,
Yeah,
life,
yeah.
it's really fast and effective. And so anytime I get a chance to spread awareness about it,
Yeah,
I
yeah,
love
yeah.
to. It's something
Yeah,
that
exactly.
people, it's like mysterious, right? And people are kind
Yeah,
of afraid of it, but it's
yeah,
not mysterious.
yeah,
How did it feel to you to be in a
yeah.
session?
I think that's what it is. I think you even mentioned, I'll never forget you mentioned, you're like, I'm not gonna like I think people think of hypnotherapy as like you're being hypnotized and you're like gonna go into like make me like talk like a duck or something. I think that's what people have when they think about those things. And when I dived into it, looked into it, I was like, no, it like you said, it's more subconscious things. And I think when we did our sessions, I really dived in. We dived deep, really deep, deep. I think I don't know if you, yeah, I'm sure you remember, but I was just got deep in, and I realized so much in like the 4 sessions that we had because it wasn't like I mean, I think especially maybe because when I started my business, I was like, this is what I'm going to do. This is who I am. This is what I'm going to stand for. And then I got into this mindset and I was like, oh my goodness, there's all these blocks. I didn't realize it. And I think because I've always accepted, like, oh, this is who I am, that you get what you get, which is good. I'm not saying like you should be changed, but I didn't realize all the underlying problems that has blocked me. And then when we did our sessions, I was like, oh my gosh, like that's
Yeah.
so true. Like, and I never realized it. And it kind of, I think it was more like I think when we did the speaking to like I guess you don't want to say demons, but like the things that were
Parts.
kind of parts that I was like blocking me. Like now I get it. Like now I knew like where my brain was storing things. I knew where my brain was like when things happened, what kind of like your self-defense that I did.
Mhm.
Now I'm not saying like, oh, I'm perfect and I've healed it, but it's like now I'm more cautious of it. I understand where like what comes in.
Yeah.
It's yeah, and then where to filter it and where things should go, not just be like, oh well, I'm just mad today. Like
Yeah.
things are kind of just going into layers. Again, is it everything is perfect? No, but it's just more of the awareness. And you really brought that out for me. And I think
Yeah.
that was amazing. Yeah. Is that what you feel like with your other clients? Is that mainly like, not mainly what you do, but like mainly like things that come up is that you really go back and see everything, that they.
Yeah, because we do, everything we do has a reason why we do it, right? And
Yeah.
even though, like, let's say you and I are talking and you say,
Yeah.
oh, well, I get really frustrated at this, and in your conscious mind, in this mind we're in right now, you think you get frustrated because of this reason and this reason and this reason.
Yeah.
But when we relax you down and you close your eyes and we get into the subconscious,
Yeah.
and we, for those people who are watching who don't know what parts is, because I mentioned that I do a lot of parts therapy, and this is where we talk to different parts of your subconscious, like very specific parts, to find out what's wrong, what they need, and then we give it to them. So let's say, for example, in a session, we could call forward the part of you that is frustration. And then we would have a conversation with it. And I would ask you, and you would ask it, because you're the client always talks to their own subconscious. I don't talk to them. And then they tell me what the answer. So I would say, ask this part of you, this frustrated part of you, why are they feeling frustrated? And maybe in your conscious mind, you would think, oh, I'm frustrated because my kids bug me all the time. I'm frustrated because I have a lot of work. But in your subconscious part, that is frustration, might say, well, I'm frustrated because I, was picked on a lot as a kid when I was 12 years old. And we can go in and like change that memory, or not necessarily even change it, but like change the relationship that part has with the memory. So we would ask, what do you need to feel better? And it would tell us, oh, I need to talk to my 12-year-old self. And say, okay, so talk to your 12-year-old self. And we'll like do that work in the subconscious. And then we create positive feelings that go with it. And then in your everyday life, in your waking life, even though you're not asleep in hypnotherapy, but like in your fully conscious mind, you'll notice that you're acting differently, you're reacting differently. Things aren't frustrating you in the same way because you dealt with it on that really deep level. And so I do that. I do mostly parts therapy with my clients, and I love it. It's so
interesting.
It's so interesting. It's like what it feels like is, it's like having a conversation with your eyes closed, first of all. But then what you're envisioning in your mind is, just imagine a really incredible daydream that you kind of control. Right? Feeling of it. So it doesn't feel weird. It's not mind control. You have to want the change in order to have the change happen. I can't ever make you do anything. But I love doing parts therapy. It's fascinating. And I love to hear how the parts are showing up and what they look like, and what tools do they want to use. It feels very magical, even though it's not magical.
I know. I that's funny, because like I remember that you mentioned that like from the beginning, you're like, you get to choose, like you talk to them and you speak with them. And it's true, because like where my mind, and we're saying my subconscious took me, when we were doing the session, I would have never thought that, would have never said that, but I see it, and then I understood. It wasn't like, what the heck is this? I got it. Like, I was just like, I really connected to it. It wasn't. And I remember you mentioned, like on our last session, you said, remember when we did the hypnosis, it took me the first time from like the last time, it took me longer to get into it the first time. But by the end, you were just like, you just went into it, because it was just like, it was so smooth. It wasn't like I was trying to force it, or it was like, where's the, like, trying to find it in my own head of making my own, but it was really just like naturally going in. And it wasn't like, it wasn't forced, which was so nice, because I think at the end of it, again, it was more like, for me, for myself, and I don't know if for your other clients, it was more soothing, that it was just like, that it's there, that it's kind of like it became a memory for part. So it's like, and it wasn't a bad memory. And it can, like you were saying, you can go back to like your years of like trauma or whatnot. And then you come back and you're like talking to them. And now it's just like, I see it. So when things happen that are my triggers, or things that would have upset me before, I have more of an understanding why it's doing it. Not just like, I'm just not like, open up the door, like, everybody just shut up, like, I get it now. And I communicate it better. Again, not that I come in and I'm like, I'm super perfect, but like you said, that sessions that we did has gotten me farther than all the other things that I've tried, in the past, so I'm excited.
It's really just understanding yourself on such a deep level, and healing yourself on such a deep level. And it is so powerful. incredible. I recommend it to everybody.
Yeah.
Everybody should try hypnotherapy with a
Yes.
hypnotherapist because
Yeah.
it will help you. It will
Yeah.
help everybody.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
we all go in and out of hypnosis naturally every day anyway. This is just a guided, like I'm your guide. I guide you through it. You do all the work. We're a team.
Yes.
And it just feels so good. It's so relaxing, so healing.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. And I think that's what it is. And then again, when you did your, and I think it's to who you resonate with. And I think when you do find somebody that you do hypnotherapy with, you connect with them, which is really good. Because like with you again, I think when I saw your video, I was like, I want to talk to her, I was like, I want to talk to her because again, it's more the connection and you trust the person that you do in the hypnotherapy.
So important.
And I think that's one of the biggest things. So yeah.
You do really have to have a lot of trust because a lot of emotional things can come up. And so it's really important if and when you do any kind of therapy, but definitely hypnotherapy. I can speak from that, right?
Yeah.
Hypnotherapist. It's so important to find someone who will hold that space for you in a really safe place and for you to know safe and feel safe. And because it's the garbage truck is coming.
It's okay. It's okay. No, you're good. At least it's not. I've had my kids again. I've had my kids like come and ramble me here to this call, so it's okay. Yeah. So
it is important. I was so honored that you felt that from me right away. And you were so excited already, even on our call, which I just wanted to tell you about hypnotherapy. You were like, when can we start? Because when you're ready to start, when you're ready to make those changes, you're going to go right into it and you're going to do it. You totally have the power to do it. You just have to want it.
Yeah, no, exactly. And I think, I'm not sure, because I don't think we just met, so I don't think you followed me. So you could even tell, like you said about the confidence, but I think you mentioned earlier, like you watch one of the videos and my confidence comes out from like before. I don't know if you saw my content, you would have seen like my videos. It felt very scripted. It felt very, or like I never even showed my face on social media and in it if I had to. And then now I think after hypnotherapy, I felt more comfortable. Am I like this rock star and I can go on live and dance in front of everything? Probably not, not yet, I guess.
Maybe
but
not
mainly, not yet. But I think it's more like after that, again, because I understood a little bit more on me and I understood that like what was happening inside, that like videos came a little bit easier. Now I can record something like what we're doing here. I'm still a little bit sweaty, but it wasn't before. It was like, no, we can't do it. We got to change it again. Or no, I got to do it. Like I would have like, I think 30 videos of the same thing because I was just like that. Now it's just like, if I'm going to do a story, I just get in there like, but it was because a lot of the things that we've talked about, I think just took that off. I was like, I think it's because I don't know if you remember, it was more like the inner child of like feeling scared and all that stuff that we talked about. And now it's so just like, yeah. And that exactly. So it's like, now I just feel like, oh, I'm the adult, I'm taking charge. I'm just going to do it, like whether, I guess in a sense, good thing and bad thing, because now it's like I just dive in, but then sometimes without thinking. But at the same time, I trust myself. Like I am the adult, I'm not a child. So yeah, so I'm really thankful for that because that has really changed a lot within me to, from there to here. Again, am I perfect? No, there's still a lot of work to do, but
that's okay. Perfect is boring.
Yeah, exactly.
Perfect is boring. And it's so cool to see your growth. And even from the first session to the last session, how much more confidence and self-trust you had. That's why honestly, confidence and self-trust is my favorite thing to work on with people because I've done that work on myself the most. I've seen and experienced that change in myself, and to be able to help people realize that self-confidence and self-trust and really see it build up and see how it changes their lives. It's incredible. There's
that's good.
To give that power and find that power in themselves.
Yeah. And I think that's what it is. I think that's why I think we connected because I genuinely felt like you were like, I want to help, and like and I was just like, oh, I love it. And as I said, it was like when I first saw your video, I was like, I'm gonna just message her, and I would never really do that. I would more be like, hey, or just like stalk you a little bit. But then I don't know, I felt connection, but because it's that whole empath thing, it just kind of like feel. And again, it's over Zoom, so everything you could do it through Zoom nowadays. So